How's it going, guys? It's me, Cthulhu Crisis. Welcome to another episode of Summoner Spotlight. And today we are going to be watching Leyzer12Man. So I don't know if he's 12 people or I don't know what the 12 stands for. But it's going to be interesting. He got in contact with me. He's been a sub for some time and he wanted me to do a spotlight on him. He told me he had a hell of a Syndra. And I'm excited to see it. So he looks like he's going for an invade. And he's got clairvoyance. So he might be going for a grab steal. And another thing I want to point out is this guy is playing Jungle Malzahar, which isn't a thing, but we'll see. I mean, maybe, is he building attack damage? No, he's building a Doran's Ring. Because I know his bug scales off attack damage, so then he might be able to jungle, but even then it would be difficult. So it looks like Shyvana's starting red. Potentially. Yeah, it looks like she's going to start red. So actually they might be able to just walk in for it. But that would be a really good start for somebody as mana hungry as a Syndra. It's really going to hurt their jungler too. So, she grabs it, and they burst it the fuck down. Syndra's not going to get it, Lee Sin is. I don't know why he stole it. I think he is supporting. So, what do you think he needs it? Graves is taking tower damage for no reason. And a lot of it too. So that was unnecessary. Shyvana grabbed her red, and now she's heading over to find out that her blue is missing, so I want to see her face. Oh, she's not too happy. So Graves is going to be forced back, and Jungle Malz is on the prowl. I don't know what he's going to do. It looks like he's going to steal some bot farm. And hold that lane a little bit. But let's get back to Leyzer12Man. So he started with, or he ended up with a point in both his Q and his W, so he is going to be able to grab minions and balls and do all that kind of stuff. So he won't have access to his stun yet, but he'll have access to some really long range that'll help zone TF out a little bit. Looks like Shyvana is going in for their red, and she looks to have gotten it. Unfortunately, so not quite worth the steal. But you have those games. Shyvana's gonna walk right across, try to zone out Syndra a little bit more. And Syndra's gonna head over here to help Malz. It looks like. So Malz is taking a lot of damage. And he's actually gonna drop and give the buff to Syndra. So that was, I don't know about Jungle Malzahar. I don't think I'll be trying it in any of my RLMs right now. Because he doesn't seem to be doing that good of a job at it. So we see the range is really helping him against Twisted Fate, which by the way is that awesome new, or not new, but the Underworld Twisted Fate skin. And I think he was in, he had the silver banner for ranked. So I don't know how far into silver he got, but that's something. So we do see a lot of damage going off. Looks like there's a huge amount of damage already for how early in the game this is. She's really taking an advantage in the lane. So let's talk about the matchups. Obviously we have Twisted Fate versus Syndra, which once she gets her ult, she'll probably be bursting him down really quickly. Up top, we have Jace versus Riven. Riven is a little bit too strong right now, and has been for some time. No nerfs seem to be coming to her. She's a really strange case because most of those champs get nerfed really quickly. Now we don't see him going for the stuns here. He just keeps going for that heavy damage. I'd like to see him swinging at least for those stuns. But he's going to start taking some heavy damage now from TF, and then he took a tower shot there. Shyvana's coming in, and luckily she doesn't have dragon form, or we'd be seeing a dead Syndra right now. We still might, though. Syndra's gonna come in, and she is gonna land a perfect stun, but she is gonna take the ignite, but she's gonna be able to get out alive. So it looks like Malzahar is bottom lane now, and Lee Sin is jungling without smite. So Lee Sin's actually a pretty good jungler, so he should be able to pull that off pretty well. I'm really surprised at the, I mean, even with pots, she's staying at really high health compared to where I thought she would be right now. Like, I thought she was pushed out of lane, but he's going to be able to stay in and keep poking at this Twisted Fate. He just got level 6, which means the next burst opportunity he gets, he can probably take TF down. But it'll depend how it's played, and it was played just perfectly. A perfect burst down on Twisted Fate, and we're going to see a huge advantage going to this middle lane. She's going to push up her minions all the way, and then she's going to need to go help him with Shyvana. If she can land the stun, then this is going to be a real easy kill. It's going to be close. In fact, it still is going to be a pretty easy kill. So, this guy's starting to get fed. He got to start off with that blue buff, but then he lost his red. But everything seems to be working out pretty well. I guess it's support Malzahar, which is going to steal all of Graves' farm, but okay. We're going to see her heading back and getting, you know, the normal board. She got a Chalice already. That's going to help so much against Twisted Fate. And let's see what Twisted Fate's building. Looks like he went to double Dorans. He's trying to give himself a little more tank. But, I don't know. Shyvana does not Shyvana. Syndra does a lot of damage. And, it's all really bursty. So, you can really tell a good Syndra player by when she knows to go in. I mean, you can try to go in on every stun, but it's not going to be as effective as if you wait until you have your full combo. I mean, her ult's up in 7 seconds. If she can get him down a little bit, you just got to get a lot of poke off. Get a lot of poke off, and then you got to know when to go balls deep, no pun intended. So, we just see her pushing up her lane. Looks like Graves picked up a good kill. Thanks to a gank, and I don't know what Malz is doing. Looks like she just gave the buff to Twisted Fate. Syndra tried to interrupt it, and it looks like she's actually going to get a really good burst off. She's not going to be able to take him off, and actually might go down here, depending how this is played by the enemy team. So, she's going to burst Twisted Fate down with her dying breath. And that's actually a really good move, because that really hurts the push. I mean, if she would have dropped and not taken Twisted Fate with her, then this lane would be shoved up right now, and there'd be some damage on the tower already. But Shyvana dropped right off to go hold that bottom lane, because bottom lane towers can be really the beginning of the end. Middle lane can too, but the problem is the bottom lane is who's going to be carrying the fights. So she really needs to make sure that she's shutting them down. And a lot of damage going on Malz. He's going to walk out with about 20 health. But the bottom lane is going to be who's carrying those fights. So if your bottom lane gets off to a really bad start, you're not going to be able to do much with it at all to stop it. Whereas middle lane, if you get an early middle tower, that does allow you to roam more, which Twisted Fate is really good at. So honestly, Shyvana probably should have went middle lane and pushed up that lane. We're going to see her initiating the dragon form, and that's going to be a dead Leyzer, unfortunately. Looks like Shyvana is really realizing that the middle lane matchup is not going the way of her team, so she's really doing everything she can to shut down Leyzer. And here we see Twisted Fate's going to drop for it, but it's going to be worth it because they are... Oh! Good flash by Graves. Otherwise, we would have seen a really good double kill going on there. So, the bottom lane has completely been turned around here. Thanks to just well-placed ganks by everybody on that blue team. If we take a look top, there hasn't really been too much interference in this top lane, so it's kind of just back and forth. Jace is a really good top laner because he is able to switch into that range. And Riven, as I said, is really overpowered. But they're both really good against each other, so it should be interesting. We see Shyvana going into here to steal the Wraiths from Purple Team. Lee Sin is probably going to face check into her. And if he does, then we should be able to initiate with Syndra. But she's gonna... Is she gonna wait and see if he's gonna start the buff without checking. And now she's gonna come in, and Lee Sin's trying to stay in long enough to be able to smite it, but he should have really checked that bush before. So we do see Syndra pushing up that middle lane. And looks like Shyvana's gonna get a free kill here. Because there's not much Purple Team could have done there to help. I mean, they're all doing their own lane. He needed to get out of there like as soon as he face checked into that. So, if we take a look at levels, he's got a 1 level, it was 2 for a moment, but 1 level advantage over TF. As long as Shyvana doesn't interfere, he should be able to just burst TF down and get that lane pushed up. I think Shyvana will interfere, but also Shyvana's probably going to want to hit up top at some point, because top lane is so back and forth that whichever team ganks first, pretty much, is going to be able to take that lane. And actually, we're going to see a hard initiation going on that is going to end in Riven being dead. And Leyzer's actually going to steal that. I don't think that would have made Lawmaster too happy. But we got 2 people coming up top, and he needs to just get out. Yeah, they are going to back off, or at least head to tower. And that is going to allow top lane to shove up that lane. Hopefully Lee Sin goes mid and helps push that up to tower. That way some of that XP is wasted before TF gets there, because TF could catch up levels during all this. And Lee Sin is down 2 levels to TF, who's under leveled. So that could go badly here. Now blue does have a ward here, so they are going to see Syndra walking in. So Syndra's not going to be able to really go for much here, other than checking out that blue. She is going to go ahead and grab it. And that could go really badly, but it's also going to force the fight between TF and her. Shyvana's coming in to interfere. If Shyvana hadn't come in, we would have saw a dead TF there. So Shyvana comes in, Jace is coming in too, so if this is played correctly, we could see a double kill in favor of Purple Team. But instead we see it for Blue Team. So just a couple mistakes. It took Jace a little bit longer than expected to get there. Malzahar drops in the bottom lane. We are going to see Lee Sin going for that kill with Graves. They are going to let Ziggs get away. But this tower, depending what happens now, we could see this tower drop. How much health does it even have? 157. I'm surprised we don't see a dive for it from Graves. But I guess he won't need to. He's going to be able to push his minions up. Shyvana's taking her red. And now that blue's gone. So unfortunately, that steal didn't go completely as planned. So unfortunately, that's going to hurt their advantage. She's still up 1, but probably not by nearly as much. Yeah, she's still up almost a full level. She's like 2 or 3 minions from level 11, I would guess. So we see another fight going on where Lee Sin is just getting picked off. He is going to be able to make it out, but just barely. We're going to see everybody kind of converging on that ribbon. Good stun going off there, and we are going to see a possible kill. I would have liked to have seen the ult go off there. We probably would have seen the kill there. She's still going to go for it, Syndra is. And we are going to see the ult go off and pick up that kill to help out that top lane. So right now we've got Graves and Jace mid. We've got Syndra mid. So we have all the minion clearing and tower assault we could need. So it looks like Graves... I don't know what Graves is doing. Looks like he's heading back bot. But we probably could have seen some harder pushing going on and possibly something going on with that top lane. We are going to see her grabbing that blue buff from over the wall. That's a really cool thing Syndra can do. And we're going to see her picking up a blue buff to help her out in the lane. Jace is holding the lane really well. But Shyvana's heading up. If she finds her, and she's got Dragon Form up too. So this could go really badly for or against blue team right now. It looks like everybody, they're thinking about converging onto that Shyvana. But it's going to be a risky fight with how tanky she is. And now TF's there dealing out the damage. So we're really going to see a double kill going off there. Shyvana's going to go for the stun. Not Shyvana. Syndra is going to go for the stun on Shyvana. But because of that double kill, there's not much purple team can do to contest that dragon. So that's going to be a really easy dragon for them to pick up. And Malzahar is the only member of purple team to have smite, so... Unfortunately, it's not looking good for our friend here. The middle lane, minion-wise, is just even. Riven's going to head up there, take care of that, get that lane pushed up, and deny some of that XP. Let's take a look at the items. Alright, Shyvana's already got a Warmogs and her Spirit Stone, and then just a few generic items. Twisted Fate has his Sheen, Sorcerer's Shoes, and his Double Dorans. We take a look at Shyvana. She's got her Needlessly Large Rod, Sorceries, Chalice of Harmony, Fiendish Codex. Looks like she's heading into a Ravenons, maybe. I don't know, it could be a couple different things. But I would assume she's going into a Rabadons or a Zonias, and I think it's a Rabadons. So it looks like we got a team fight. Well, not so much a team fight as much as a Graves out of position. And he's just going to get flaunted down. So blue team is up about 3 kills right now, and they're all really strategic kills. Syndra needs to get out of there. She's got several people coming at her. And if TF gets that gold card off... Oh, that was a good dodge. Oh, and a good double stun. She's going to get that double stun. She's probably... I mean, she's still going to have to fight to get out, but she has a much better chance of getting out now. Looks like we see the TF ultimate, and Jace is there to give her that acceleration gate, and they are going to be able to get away, but that was close. It could have gone a lot worse. See Lee Sin trying to catch up in those levels. Him being switched from support to jungle is really going to hurt him. And Malzahar, he's staying in it, but he can't be that useful. So, Syndra's heading back in, it looks like, and this could be really bad if they get caught out here. Because right now they're converging on a 3v3, but it's not a 3v3 that they can win. So we see Lee Sin go in, face check that bush, and we're going to see Syndra trying to get out of there. And it looks like she's going to make it. So she is going to make it out. Jace is going to head on out too. But Misfortune's pushing that middle turret. Malzahar's going to come up and try to stop him. Ziggs is here too. So the one good thing Malzahar has going for him is that he's really good at pushing minions up. So hopefully we'll see the wave get shoved up really quickly. But even if we do, we need to see this tower drop. Purple team is down 1 tower and 4 kills. And they're just going in really recklessly. Especially Lee Sin. Now we do see the kill go off there. Now I don't think we 100% needed to see the ult there. But at least it's going to give them something to do there. It's going to assure that they get that kill. Now we do see the kill going off on Shyvana. That was a really well played fight. We see him getting kicked back. And Leyzer's going to pick up another kill from that, and this tower's going to drop. That could be the tide turning match here. We see Riven recalling, doesn't want to be any part of any of this, and Syndra leading the march to steal that blue buff. So, this is a pretty good idea to grab this blue buff. Dragon's not up, so anything they can do to help shut down that Shyvana is really going to be a lot of help. So they took that tower, they got their whole wave destroyed by that tower, and Graves is wandering lost in the jungle. He's going to push up the minions to this tower and get some more XP denied. So this really is a game-changing fight. This is really going to change what they're going to be able to do. And we see a Deathfire Grasp coming out. That's a really good item on Syndra, because it not only gives the 120 ability power, it also has an active that you can use to amplify all the damage you do to a single target, which Syndra's single target damage is just insanely powerful. So that's going to be really useful, especially when she is able to catch out TF like this. So Shyvana's heading up towards that lane, but she's going to go for Wraiths first. If Syndra catches vision of that TF, it's not going to be good. We see a fight going kind of back and forth here. We do see the flash over the wall, and we're going to see Syndra going in, picking up that kill on Riven. Now she's going to turn her sights onto TF, and she's going to come really close to finishing him off. Shyvana's going to come in, and this could be bad. Shyvana is just incredibly strong right now in this game. She's really getting fed. She's really being able to do just so much damage for how tanky is. The ult's going to come off from Mal's, and that's going to be a good possible kill on Shyvana. So now that she's not a giant dragon, they're not scared of her, and Graves is going to pick up the kill. Perfectly played by Purple Team. Syndra probably could have went for that stun, but it may not have been off cooldown. I didn't get the chance to check. And we do see TF coming in with that gold card. He is going to get the stun. And unfortunately, oh wow. Actually, we're going to see Graves put up a really good final stand, and he is going to take out TF. Twisted Fate is in a really good spot right now. All of his abilities are just so fluid. Especially his gold card and his ult. People that are good with Twisted Fate are really good at mid lane, and it's cool to see the Syndra TF matchup, because both sides of that matchup have something going for them. It's going to be really interesting. So we see a ward getting put down, mostly for this fight, but also to see if they're going for blue at any point. It's going to be interesting how the warding locations are going to change for people like Syndra that are about stealing buffs in Season 4. It's going to be really interesting. They may be able to dive and pick up the kill on Ziggs here. Oh yeah, that's a dead Ziggs. Really well played by both members there. But some of these bushes are getting shortened, whether it be on this side or this side. I think they're shortening it on this side, which is really going to change the way you can ward to watch for buffs, because that means your ward is going to have to be out in the open. You're not going to have vision around the corner or of the bush. So it's going to be interesting. A lot of the warding changes are really going to be game changing. So we see Shyvana heading down towards that dragon to try to defend it. Malzahar does have that smite though, so good. They do pick up that dragon, and Jace and Syndra are just trying to shove up and take that tower. Riven is doing such a good job of taking out their minions as soon as they get there though. And now Ziggs is here. That makes it a 2-on-2. And let's check Syndra's cooldowns. Yeah, she does have her ult. She does have 2 points in it now. So we could actually see a really good kill coming off here if the opportunity arises. So, it looks like she's going to pick up the kill on Lee Sin. But everyone else is going to get away, and they're going to try to focus down this mid tower. But with Syndra and Jace shoving up top as much as they are, and they've forced Riven out of the lane now. Which means if they can get the kill on Ziggs, they've got more or less a... Oh, that was so close to being a really simple kill. But that's still going to give them what they need. And that is for them to be able to push up and try to take this tower. So they are going to take those minions, help their minions get up there a little quicker. But now a bunch of blue team's going to come in, and we are going to see Leyzer bursted down. And Misfortune's right here to be able to catch Lawmaster. So Lawmaster wants to take somebody with him. We do see a wasted Ziggs ult, so that's good. And we see some damage going off on this top tower. But we did lose this mid tower, so we'll have to really watch and see how much of an impact that makes on the game. You see Graves here trying to do what he can. So he was thinking about trying to take that blue buff. That is not going to be able to happen with how much reinforcements that blue team has up here. It would have been a really bad mistake. So Malzahar's running around clearing some camps. See, Malzahar's okay at jungling, you know, when he's not the first 6 or 7 levels. He's not bad at it because his mark, what they call that, vision. But I would not recommend jungle Malzahar. So we do see, I don't know what we see. We see Lee Sin trying to kill a full health Shyvana, and it's kind of silly. Graves is going to come in, Malzahar is going to come in, and they are going to shove up this lane. And we're going to see probably a full team, blue team defense here. Syndra looking to go grab blue. The rest of the purple team just sits here and kills minions. Tries to get that lane pushed up. We are going to see Lee Sin and Jace starting to push that top lane again. With how low it is. What's it at? About 400 health. I'm surprised. Yeah, I guess that's probably a good idea with Riven around. I was gonna say they could go for the tank on it, but if Riven showed up in the middle of that, that would be really bad. So we do see Riven trying to contest that top lane. We're gonna see Lee Sin going up there to try to help out. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw TF or Ziggs head up there as well. But they are going to grab the tower kill. Riven is not going to be able to go in on both of them like that. And we could see a pretty big fight coming out here. Leyzer's getting himself in position. He's a little bit low on health, but he's got the power and the levels to really do a lot of damage here. So unfortunately we see that Shyvana jumping in. Shyvana's been doing a lot of damage to Syndra this whole game. And looks like Shyvana is going to make it out, but we do see double kill coming off from purple team. But Shyvana's going to pick up that double kill as well. So they're trying to bait her into an attack here. But Shyvana has vision. We are going to see Jace drop. And Shyvana's not in dragon form anymore, but she's not too scared either. She's got most of her team here to back her up. And TF's going to go in with that card. He's going to grab the wrong card, though, and that's probably going to allow Graves to get away here. So, it looks like he's going to go for the dive, and he's going to drop for it. So, that was worth it. And if Riven can pick up this kill on Lee, Lee needs to backtrack this way. So, I thought we were going to see Riven head up this way and just cut Lee off. That was really lucky that he didn't try that. That Riven didn't go for that. We are going to see the initiation by Syndra onto that. Grabbing the Wraith, throwing the Wraith at her, and just that burst damage is just overpowering. I mean, that Riven was a whole level higher, and she was still able to just burst her down with everything. I really liked seeing her grab the Wraith and just throw the Wraith at her, just grabbing whatever she could. It was really well played, and now she's going to grab all that farm, all that nice taste of farm, and get another level. So, really well played game by Syndra. It's a really close game, too. I mean, we see Purple Team has one more tower, but is down about 2 kills, which one tower is definitely worth 2 kills. And if this next fight is initiated well by Blue Team, it could be really hurtful to Purple Team's chances here. Shyvana is really the one to watch out for in this game, though. She's already got her Randuin, she's got Merc Tread, she's got Warmogs. She's just going to be so tanky. Mouse needs to get in there and try to do anything he can to stop them. Graves may make it out, but it'll just be barely. He's not going to make it out, but we are going to see Ziggs drop as well. You're going to see everybody focusing onto that Shyvana, and really, they need to be changing targets. Like, that Shyvana does a lot of damage, but that should not be your highest priority. But they are going to take down the Shyvana, and that does leave them in a better place in this fight. So we are going to see Lee Sin trying to pick up all the kills here. I don't think he's going to be able to take out that TF. So, last man standing is going to be TF, and he's going to walk out of there with a triple kill. And the chance to push this lane all the way up. So that was a good fight, but they needed to worry less about Shyvana and make sure to take out those prime targets. Because even if Shyvana is the last one standing, first off, if you take out those high damage targets, the rest of you are going to be alive. Secondly, if it's just Shyvana left on the map, say the exact same fight happened except Shyvana lived instead of TF, she can't take a tower. This tower would still be standing. So it's really interesting. We see top lane going the way of Purple Team, and mid lane is really starting to go the way of Blue Team. So we really need to make sure that we see some really good defense coming off on this mid lane, and some really good shoving. If we take a look at items, TF has a Rabadon's, a Lich Bane, and Sorcerer Shoes with Home Guard. I don't think he really needs Home Guard. Seems like a silly purchase to me. But, whatever. Everybody has their own opinions. Syndra's got her Deathfire Grasp, Athene's Unholy Grail, Seeker's Arm Guard. She's probably going to build that Seeker's into a Zonia's, which is going to give her a lot more sustain, especially against that Shyvana. So, it could go really well. Looks like Blue Team's getting in position to try another team fight, while Graves wants to go for that dragon. So, Purple Team needs to stay out of this team fight for now, or reinitiate it on their terms. They are going to pick up that dragon really easily, and now would be the time to force the team fight, when they can jump in, take off the T people, and wow, they are going to burst that Shyvana down so fast. Shyvana's going to have to leave the fight, and Lee Sin says, I'm not going to let you, and then the other Lee Sin, or the Twisted Fate, is able to turn this around. So we see everybody on their team really low. We see a really good kill and stun come on off from Leyzer12Man, and we see that Shyvana walking out of there with less than 10 health. Jace is going to pick it up for the ace. Jace really needs to even out this middle lane. He really needs to get that lane shoved up as fast as he can and as safely as he can, because if he can even out this lane, then that gives them the tower advantage, that gives them the gold advantage, and that gives them the map advantage. Because right now, that middle lane is the weakest link. If they can make it one of their strongest links, it'll really help in the defense. I mean, like they say, the best defense is the best offense. Except that's not what anybody ever says, but I'm going to say it now. So they are going to be able to take that tower. Lee Sin's going to head in there and check on that blue, which I don't think that blue's up. The red's not up either, so they're going to just get out of there. And they need to make sure that they are focusing correctly. I mean, I know right then they had the opportunity to get a huge chunk of damage off on that Shyvana, But Shyvana is not who you need to worry about. Shyvana's not going to be taking towers. Shyvana's not going to be getting triple kills in these fights. You got to watch out for that TF. And TF is probably your prime objective. I mean, you do need to watch out for Misfortune too. But I think TF is a much bigger concern than Misfortune is. We're going to see Misfortune just barely not catching him there. And we see a couple members of Purple Team up here. Don't know exactly what they're doing. Maybe they're going for Baron, it looks like. Or they're at least thinking about it. Yep, they're going to go for that Baron to be able to win the next team fight and really push into their base. But we see all the members of Blue Team skittering about. They see this ward, they see him with the Twisted Fate ult, and they might need to just back off this Baron, because if this fight goes poorly, it could cost them the game. Baron is known to throw games. So they are going to let that Baron, they're going to let off him, but he's still going to be shooting from the inside of that pit. They could probably go for the team fight here, and they'd probably come out ahead. But I don't know what's going on. For one thing, Baron's attacking all the members of Purple Team, which is really funny. Looks like we see a couple members trying to leave, but really, I mean, if you guys back off completely and get out of this fight entirely, then they're gonna just grab this Baron while you're gone. I mean, it's obvious that they know where you are. They've got wards. And although you may not know that they have wards, you know that they're shooting right at where you are. I don't understand the point of everybody backing off like this. I really think in the long run that's going to hurt them quite a bit. Or it could, depending how Blue Team plays this off now. So, looks like they're all going to go for that mid defense. They want to make sure that they're pushing this tower out. And with Malzahar here, it's going to be really easy for them to do that. I would really like to see Jace, yeah, there he goes, pushing up this top lane. So that if they get out of this fight like this, it's going to put them in a much better spot. If they can take a tower out of it. And they are going to get a tower out of it. Riven's trying to take a tower up here. She is nowhere close to getting that tower. I would love to see a Malzahar ult. There it is. And just the burst. This crazy burst from Syndra. So really well played. We do see the Zhonya's coming out and she's got the Athene. She's had that for a little while. And heading into, it looks like a Rallies, if I had to guess. So, really well played. Jace took Misfortune with him. Like I said, Shyvana's not going to be able to do much. So, that leaving Shyvana alive and making sure to focus down Misfortune before the end of that fight is going to leave them in such a better place than what they were doing originally. So, I see this game going in favor of Purple Team. Right now, they have 2 towers. They have 5,000 gold advantage. And although the kills are equal, they've been much more strategic kills in favor of the Purple Team. We see a really good Flash being able to bait that Twisted Fate to run around this way and be able to get away. That was really good by him. We see Graves down here shoving up this lane. It looks like Blue Team is going to start heading there, but I think if he really focuses on it, he can take that tower before anybody gets near. So now he's going to go ahead and get out of here. He's going to head right down this way, and TF's going to appear right there, and Graves says, "Hey, nice to see you, dude." And he is going to take out that Twisted Fate, but he's going to drop to Shyvana. If we're lucky, he'll drop to Shyvana. Shyvana is not going to be able to use that gold as efficiently as like Riven or Ziggs would. So seeing Shyvana take that is not going to be, take that kill, is not going to be as great as if Twisted Fate would have, if Misfortune would have, any of those other champs. So actually giving the support, or giving the tank those kills, is not that bad of an idea. So we do see him picking up the Rallies, so I was right on that. Riven's taking out the Wraiths, and almost paid for it. You see a 4-man push coming down here. and Graves is going to be back up in 20. They probably won't be able to take this tower with this much defense going on it, but if they can force the fight from blue team, if they can force blue team into a fight that they don't want to be in, it could go really well for purple team. Like right here, let's see, does Shyvana have her ult? Yeah, Shyvana's got her ult, was the only bad thing. But Twisted Fate's gonna walk around the wrong corner, and he's dead. Just completely obliterated before anything could happen. Graves is back up at this point, and we see them going for Baron. I don't think they can get Baron by themselves. So Graves is gonna head over there and try to be the damage, but the problem is Malzahar cannot tank that Baron. So it's going to be really close. Luckily with Smite, they are going to be able to grab it. And Shyvana and them say, hey, we should go check on Baron. And they're not going to like what they see. Shyvana is just shoving up that middle lane. Hopefully she doesn't get ganked, her pants ganked off by Shyvana here. I keep calling her Shyvana. This is Syndra. We all know that. But hopefully Syndra doesn't get her pants ganked off. But Graves is here to back her up if she does. And Jace is pushing this bottom lane. He's going to take some good damage from that Ziggs ult. He probably, could have tried to get out of it. Is he AFK? Alright, Jace is AFK. And he's going to die because of it. So, that's really unfortunate. But we see him bursting down on Twisted Fate. He's going to zone just in time to not get hit by the Make It Rain. Unfortunately, Riven is going to do hella damage, but Syndra is going to make sure Riven dies with her. And we're going to see the tower drop, we're going to see the inhib drop. And that's probably all in this push, but I would not be super surprised to see a surrender come. But I'm pretty bad at guessing surrenders. I mean, we already got these two down. So, okay, he must have disconnected and stood still. Okay. Well, that's cool. So, that's probably why you didn't dodge any of that stuff. So, they're going to try to take that last tower. They're going to tank whatever they need to get it. They're going to try to get that last inhibitor, and then they'll either back off or they'll head in. I would say the smarter move would probably be to back off, especially if they are even able to get this. They should back off. Because that's going to give them super minions on 3 fronts. And if you get super minions on 3 fronts, your minions are going to be doing a good push on their own. You don't necessarily have to be there. So they almost take that out. They're not going to quite be able to do it. And they are going to be forced back. But this means at least one member of blue team is going to have to be here just to defend this base. We see the dragon is going to go down pretty easily to these guys, giving purple another dragon advantage. And they were really able to take that Baron buff and put it to really good use, to push into that base and to really get that going for them. Syndra says, hey, I'm going to go grab that blue. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a way to get vision. Oh, I guess she does with her ball. So she's going to grab that blue. Twisted Fate says, hey, I'm going to check over here. And they're going to get that third inhib. But this inhib's back up now. So purple team really needs to go up and make sure that they have all 3 inhibs. Unfortunately, it's not going to be Lee Sin doing it because Lee Sin needs to get out of there. So, Syndra has her Oracle. She's going to take out those wards now. And we'll have to see how this fight turns out. Syndra doesn't really want to mess with Shyvana. Shyvana's too tanky to die to that burst. But her and Mal's are going to be able to do some really heavy damage to this lane. And it looks like actually their minions might be able to take this inhib. So Shyvana's actually below half health, probably about not quite a third health. So sorry about that. We could actually see it going really well here. But Shyvana's going to back completely out, head back to base and heal. Graves is going to be able to push up this lane with Malzahar. And if all of Purple Team gets together and pushes one or two lanes, they can really do some damage. It looks like Malzahar did pick up the kill on Misfortune. There goes about half their damage. And then TF is the other half. There he goes. Ziggs doesn't really put out that much damage. Riven does some more damage compared to Ziggs and the others. Shyvana. But we should see somebody coming over here. There we are. Somebody should probably be just taking out that inhib just in case this final push doesn't go the way it needs to. Because it's always good to have backup planned. So they are going to be able to just barely pick up Shyvana. Graves is going to drop. Not Graves. Jace is going to drop. And we are going to see this final tower drop. Now, like I said, I really would have liked to have seen this inhib taken just out of precaution. But we are going to see them picking up the kill. And that is the Summoner Spotlight on Leyzer12Man, who really did a good job of just annihilating the targets they went for. Started off a little bit rocky because they weren't focusing super well, but in the end, everything worked out, and they were really able to turn some really good team fights. So you guys all have a great day. I'll see you next time.
I don't care what you say when you say